Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, I forgot my stand again, so if the camera's a bit whiffy-waffy, excuse me for it. But yeah, guys, yesterday I spoke to you guys and we did a great live stream. Big up to everyone in the live stream. I really enjoyed yesterday's live stream. I thought it was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought we really enjoyed it. I want to thank you, some of you, on the video that I did yesterday about Canelo, Khan and Brook, were saying that why I think a prime Khan would beat Brook. Some people were receptive, some people weren't as receptive. I want to give a shout. I want to shout out one of you actually said that just because something about fanboy. I'll speak about it in another video. Actually, let's forget about what he had to say. I'll speak about it in another video when I actually do more videos about Khan Brook, probably next week. I'll discuss it in further depth. But yeah, yesterday we were basically excited by news that came from Mike Coppinger, Michael Benson, very credible sources in the sport of boxing. Apparently I got criticized by another channel, I think, by saying that I'm just another false news or whatever. My news was from credible sources like Michael Coppinger, Michael Benson, who everyone sees their sources, and I made a video on it. And I didn't say for 1 minute that the fight was done. I actually said the fight was near and close. So I never said the fight was done, but it's close. And when these people like Michael Benson and Mike Coppinger come out with information, generally it's got some credibility and some truth behind it. They don't just come out and talk nonsense. So when these people say stuff, they generally have a lot of insight. And even Eddie Hearn said that Michael Benson and Mike Coppinger, generally they're very rarely wrong. They're mostly very right. So my information was based on those two credible sources. And actually I make a lot of videos that I follow both of them on Twitter, and a lot of, when they break something, I make a lot of videos on their on their sources. So I don't use any of these other sources. I use Michael Benson, Mike Coppinger, because generally more often than not they're on point. So yeah, people giving me stick for saying that Imran's spreading false news. No, I wasn't. I had credible sources like Michael Benson and Mike Coppinger, who got promoters in the trade respect and say their sources are generally reliable. So yeah, just to clear that up. And in terms of the Bivol fight, which is a fight that is a great fight, I'll break down the Golovkin fight in another video, but I want to talk about the Bivol fight. Yesterday I did a video breaking down Khan and Brook, and a lot of you liked it. Let's talk about Canelo Bivol. Steven made some points and he thought that Bivol will beat Canelo up. Bivol will beat Canelo up. Ahmed also thinks that Bivol will win. A lot of people seem to think that Bivol will beat Canelo Alvarez, which I like. I don't agree with it, and I'll tell you why. Bivol is a good fighter. He's got a very good jab. He's got very good feet. Canelo Alvarez doesn't have the feet that Bivol has, but Canelo Alvarez has very educated feet. He puts very educated pressure on you. And Bivol is going to have to get Canelo to respect him. And this is where this fight is going to be won or lost. If Bivol is not able to get Canelo to respect his power, right, what Canelo's going to do is Canelo's going to start walking him down and exerting a lot of pressure, like he did with Plant, like he did with Saunders, like he did with Khan, like he did with all of the other guys. Now, Bivol has an advantage because Bivol is a big guy. However, and this is where Ray, Steven, Steven's point about Bivol beating Canelo up is not going to happen. The only guy that was able to beat Canelo up is Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather's reflexes, his sharpness was all better than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is quicker. On the inside, Canelo Alvarez has, trust me, he has really fast hands. He has quicker hands than Bivol. I'm telling you. On the inside, when Canelo gets on the inside, Canelo has really fast hands. He doesn't have the quickest feet. So if you're able to box and move and get out of range, you know, sometimes he can struggle. But he has very quick hands. If you're in his firing range, you're in danger, because Canelo Alvarez's hand speed is very, very good. Very, very good. And he's very fast, deceptively fast. Because when you look at his body type, you don't expect Canelo Alvarez to be that fast. You just don't. But he's very explosively fast. And he's very dangerous when he's throwing those shots. So they're not just fast, they're powerful as well. So he's not just not just got fast hands, he's also got explosive power as well with that, which makes it very, very dangerous for whoever he fights. Now, Bivol, a lot of you seem to think that because Bivol is a bigger guy, right, which he is, that's going to give Canelo a lot of trouble. And because Bivol is bigger, he's going to be able to absorb Canelo's power better, which is true. But he's just naturally a bigger man. So Canelo's now going to have to face a slick boxer who is bigger than him, which is a lot bigger than him at 175. But let me break this down to you. Bivol is not way bigger than Callum Smith. Now, he might be a better, more slick-footed boxer, but he's not bigger. Bivol is 6 foot with a 72 arm reach. Canelo Alvarez is 5'7" with a 70.5 arm reach. Bivol, for me, isn't going to be able to just dominate this fight with his jab unless he's able to sting Canelo with right hands and shots, power shots that are able to keep Canelo at bay. The only way you can keep Canelo off, right, is if you have power to keep him off, right? If you look at Floyd, right, Floyd was just so much more skilled defensively. Canelo was young, he wasn't in his prime, but we're talking about now. See, that's the thing. When we talk about the Floyd fight, a lot of people go back to the Floyd fight, but that was a long time ago. The Lara fight, that was a long time ago. Canelo has come on leaps and bounds since then. The other thing is that Bivol's going to struggle with is the defense of Canelo Alvarez. So if Bivol, this is the key for the fight, if Bivol is able to get Canelo to respect his power, then Bivol is in for a great shout to win this fight. No question. If Bivol is able to make Canelo, remember this, if Bivol is able to make Canelo respect his power, so if Bivol is able to hit Canelo with a right hand and push Canelo back, and Canelo has to think about walking forward, then Bivol has a great chance because he has a lot of physical advantages. And I've said this before, the only way a slick boxer is going to beat Canelo Alvarez if he has power. Because then what happens is Canelo is not just going to have to worry about the guy moving and his quick feet and him moving around the ring. And Canelo's not just going to have to cut off the ring, but he's also going to have to do it without being aggressive and being careless, because Canelo knows that this guy can hit and hurt. And even if it's not the kind of power where he's going to knock Canelo out cold, the fact is if you're hurting someone, they're going to be reluctant coming forward. Someone like Amir Khan, for example, when he was hitting Canelo, it was like scratching. It was like Canelo's being scratched. So Canelo had no fear of coming forward and eating shots from Amir Khan because he knew that this isn't going to damage me. This is going to have no effect on me. Right? Whereas if Bivol is able to hit Canelo with shots, which Canelo has to respect, and Canelo has to actually, that actually hurt Canelo, then Canelo's going to have to be more wary when coming forward. He can't be reckless. He can't be aggressive, recklessly aggressive, because, he could be in trouble. And that's what's going to determine this fight. Yes, Bivol can win the fight, but what will determine Bivol winning the fight is the fact that whether he has enough power to keep Canelo at bay. Does he have the power to push Canelo back and keep Canelo off and to get Canelo to respect his power? Because if he does, Canelo's going to be more reluctant in coming forward, and Bivol can control the fight with his jab, his long reach, and his movement. But the only way he can do that is if he has the power to make Canelo respect him. If Canelo doesn't respect his power, then I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how good Bivol's footwork is. It doesn't matter how good Bivol's jab is. It doesn't matter, because Canelo will cut the ring off and Canelo will start going to work. He'll start smashing his body, right? He'll start wearing him down. That's what Canelo will do. I'm telling you, Canelo will wear him down. Plant was a good boxer. Don't get me twisted. Plant's a really good boxer. But the problem was Plant had literally zero power. Canelo did not respect his power. And if Canelo does not respect your power, he's too much of a brute force and too much of a machine for you to be able to, live with him for 12 rounds. So I've said before many times, the two styles that are going to give Canelo problems are the slick boxer that can punch, right? With good fundamentals, of course. And the other guy that's going to give Canelo trouble is someone like Arthur Beterbiev, a guy that's physically very strong, very big, that's able to push Canelo back on the back foot and make him work for 3 minutes of the round. Not 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Being able to make him work every single second of the round. Because what that'll do is Canelo Alvarez will not be able to work at his own pace, which will mean he'll tire out. Canelo has had issues with his cardio. People said he's improved that. I just think that it's not so much, he may have improved it a little, but I feel if someone pushes Canelo Alvarez to that place, I feel like he can definitely wear Canelo down. Golovkin, they were brutal fights for Canelo. The reason why? Because Golovkin had the power, the strength, the physicality, the chin to be able to push Canelo back, right? And Beterbiev has that sort of power as well. But Beterbiev's chin, I don't want to say Beterbiev's chin she's not chinny, but I definitely feel that Beterbiev is not as, I wouldn't want to say not as tough, because he is tough. He's a very tough man. I wouldn't say he's as hard as Golovkin. Like, I'd say that you can hit and hurt Beterbiev. I don't think you can hit and hurt Golovkin. I just think the man's made out of stone, Whereas I think Beterbiev can be hit and hurt. And that's where I think Canelo can take advantage. Also, Canelo has also improved his defense, which Bivol is also going to have issues with, by the way. Because when you're throwing punches at Canelo, he's not that easy to hit now. He's become very slick, as Christian says, from the waist up. And the way he, ducks down low, the way he just, pivots and makes guys miss by by inches. He just makes them miss, and his body work and body movement when guys are throwing punches, brilliant. Like that Danny Jacobs famous clip where Danny Jacobs is throwing a lot of punches and Canelo's just making him miss, and then he threw a massive right hand Jacobs, and Canelo just he just dodged it. It was brilliant. That was beautiful to watch. Even though there was no punches landing, he weren't throwing any punches, but just the defensive moves by Canelo there was so beautiful to watch. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And then his defense has definitely improved. So that's something that Bivol is going to have to worry. So basically, this fight comes down to whether Bivol can get Canelo to respect his power. If Bivol can't get Canelo to respect his power, then Canelo Alvarez, even though Bivol might cause him some issues, Canelo Alvarez will get the job done. I am going to make a prediction now if this fight was to happen. Canelo Alvarez will knock out Dmitry Bivol late in this fight. Steven's going to raise an eyebrow. Ahmed's going to raise an eyebrow. Makai's going to raise an eyebrow. But that's my opinion. And I've kind of explained it basically how this fight is going to be broke down. If Bivol can make Canelo respect his power, for me, Bivol wins. But having said that, I don't believe Bivol can make Canelo respect his power. And hence why I believe Canelo will wear Bivol down with hard body shots, hit him with some brutal body shots, wear him down, put water in the basement, tire him out, and stop Bivol late on in the fight. That's my prediction for this fight, because I just don't think Bivol's got the power. And as I said, if you're a slick boxer and you don't have power, I'm sorry, you can't beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. Stop going and talking about the Mayweather fight. The Mayweather fight was a long time ago. Stop talking about that fight. That is not the same Canelo that we see today. Canelo Alvarez today is a completely different fighter to the one that we saw took on Floyd Mayweather. So, you know, I think that even bringing that up is pointless. But that's my prediction. Guys, what I want you to do is leave your prediction for Canelo and Bivol. Who wins that fight? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.